It's Thursday, December 17th, and I haven't recorded anything in a couple of days. And honestly, we've just been super lazy. Like I said, typically around this time of year, the month of December, I don't do a lot of dyeing. I just sort of take December off to focus on the holidays and getting any orders that come in shipped out right away. So I haven't really done much work. So we actually ended up getting hooked on this new show on Amazon Prime. It's called The Wilds, and it's about these young girls that get stranded on an island. And the episodes are pretty long. I want to say they're about an hour, but there's only, I think, 10. And we watched the whole thing in over a couple of days. Like during the day, the kids were at school. We were sitting at home watching TV. It's awful, but we didn't get around to doing a whole lot of other things. I did do a couple of little things in my eldest room that I was working on. I'm waiting on one more thing to come in the mail. I'd ordered the wrong part, so once that comes in, then I'll be able to do the last piece of his room, and then that will be done. So I'm really excited about that, and I'll share what the room looks like once I've got all the pieces put in. And oh, I forgot to turn on my my Advent candle. There we go. And then my other son, he'd asked if I would do a wall in his room, so I think I might. They're starting to talk about us potentially moving into a lockdown situation here next week. So I think I might just run over to Home Depot tomorrow and pick up some more trim pieces so that I can do his room as well, because I need something to do if the kids are going to be home with us for an extended winter break, and that is something they've been talking about, even if we don't end up in a lockdown situation, that we might have an extended winter break, which I'm fine with. But that is something I would like to do for him, just to make his room a little more special too. But today we got, like I said, my husband hasn't been into his office since March, but today they mailed us a little gift, and I think I've mentioned that he currently works at, and I used to work at, Crayola, and they sent us this year's Christmas ornament. So this is it here. Isn't that cute? It's got a little crayon chimney. Super cute. So I gotta hang that on the tree. And I actually got them to send me a second one, which is going to be a gift for a family member, and I think this person will really enjoy it. So hopefully I'll get that dropped off to them sometime in the next few days. And I thought it was about due time that I gave you an update on my Advent socks. I haven't even showed them very much in the last little bit, but this was my first sock. This is how far I got on the first sock. And then I switched over and did the cuff on the second sock, and I actually got the second sock, 14 stripes on the second sock. So again, I'm just knitting I knit a 2x2 rib cuff. That's not laying quite right. My cuff is 2x2 rib, and then this cable here, it is from a pattern by Kay Jones. I will link it below. I just took the cable out of that pattern and put it in, but the actual pattern has some texture around here. I decided not to do that, only because with there being 24 different colors in the Advent skein, I didn't want it to be super busy, so I decided to just do plain vanilla, but I wanted a little something, so that's why I added this cable. So this is where I'm at. I have switched back to this pair, or to this sock, so I gotta play catch up now. I'm hoping that tonight I'll get it knit down to here and then do the heel, but I am only at stripe 14, and I know there's a few people I've seen around, like Instagram, following the hashtag on Instagram. There's a few people who are like falling behind, and that's perfectly fine. I've seen a few pairs of socks that are finished. That's perfectly fine. We all have our own plans and schedules during this month, and whatever works for you, as long as it's enjoyable and you're getting a moment to sit down and relax and work on this, I don't care where you're at. And it's super fun to see the different pairs knit up, and that just brings me a lot of joy. And that's the whole point of the Advent skein, is to find some time to sit down and just relax and enjoy your knitting. It's meant to be enjoyable. So if that means you're a little behind or ahead of schedule, doesn't matter. it doesn't matter. But I am super, super happy with that I've gotten this far. And I'm hoping that by the weekend, I'll have the heel flap done for the other sock. And the heel flap I decided to use. Usually I'll use a eye of partridge. This time I didn't. It's not an eye of partridge, but it kind of is. But instead of the eye of partridge, usually you will slip one, knit one, slip one, knit one. And then the opposite row you'll all purl, and then you'll do the other one. So instead of slip one, knit one, you'll knit one, slip one. So for this one here, I just repeated the slip stitch row twice before offsetting it by one stitch, if that makes any sense. So it looks just slightly different than an eye of partridge. I was hoping it would show up better, but I actually don't think it does. What I like the eye of partridge heel, it gives me a nice heel, and I like the feel of the fabric that it produces, but the actual like honeycomb pattern doesn't usually come through, and I've played around with it, like pulling a little tighter or knitting a little looser, making sure I use the same tension on both the slip row and then the plain row, and I just can't quite get it to be how I want it to be. So if you have any tips or ideas, or you know, if yours turns out, please let me know how you do that, because I would love to know and I would love to try it. But I'm really happy with how these socks are coming along, and I like the colors we chose this year. These colors are definitely the most vibrant pair of Advent socks that we have done so far, so that makes me happy. And while we're talking about the Advent yarn, I did have a very, very small amount that went into the shop about a week ago, and I did get emails from a couple of people saying that they went and they were all gone, and was it a mistake? It wasn't a mistake. There was just very, very few skeins. So it was completely unannounced. It just went up whenever I had the time. It was the day that I was planning to go drop parcels off. So they went super quick. So I'm really sorry if you went to the site and you were hoping to get a skein and they weren't there. With that said, obviously we're more than midway through the month, and I obviously can't send them out now and they would get to you in time to knit it by Christmas. But if people are interested in getting the skein to knit at a different time, I can put up a pre-order and dye some more. You just wouldn't get them, probably with the way the mail is kind of clogged up now, till sometime mid-January. But if people are interested in that, then we can certainly do that. So again, let me know in the comments below if that's something you're interested in, and I can try to accommodate as best as possible. But I am happy with that. They're in my Sandy bag. I love this little bag because it's festive and fun. It doesn't to me scream Christmas. It's really festive and probably like really is a Christmas bag. But I also think with these pale pinks, I can totally use this through to Valentine's Day. So I just love this bag, and this was a gift from Sandy, and I'm just super lucky to have her as a friend in real life. But other than that, I think it's time to go get my little kids from school. So I'm going to sign off from now, but I am doing a bit of a crafty project, so I'm going to get some footage of that here a little bit later, and then I'm hoping that we'll get to baking in the next couple of days. I'll check in later.